I'm going to go back to an old video where I created a triptych. This is an excellent way to create some cool wall art. In this video, I'm going to expand on the silhouette that I created in the last video, where I created a foggy lamplit scene. I really only got into the black and white silhouette. In this video, I'm going to expand this a little with a triptych that consists of the guy that we used in the last video. Right now I have 4 tabs open. I have a brand new document. I have a tab that I labeled Man 1, one for Man 2, and one for Man 3. And in a while you'll discover why they all look alike. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is to put a rectangle over this. So right now I'm going to put a rectangle over my document, because remember, with just the document open, you really can't do anything with it. You have to have something to do something on. Now I want to bring in all 3 of these guys into the new document. So I'm going to do them one at a time. So I need to select the Object Selection tool, and then I'm going to hover over this and let it think until it tries to select our guy. Okay, once we get the little crosshair, then we can kind of slide over until we get a selection. Now I found that the backpack doesn't select very well, so I'm just going to select the guy, and then I'm going to click down and the guy is selected, and then I'm going to go over to the Object Selection tool and get the Selection Brush tool so that we can select the rest of the backpack. Now all I have to do is go up to Refine, and then it'll refine our selection, and you'll see that all it did was to select the guy. We're really lucky here because we don't have any little weird stuff that we have to go over to make our selection a little bit better. This is going to be fine. So I'm going to click on Output and then click Output to Mask and then Apply. And then we'll just have this dude right here. Alrighty, now I don't want all this extraneous stuff out here, so I'm going to try to cut it off with the Crop tool. Now keep in mind that when we cut this off with the Crop tool, we're still going to have this stuff hanging out here until we rasterize and trim it off. The reason that it does this is because sometimes you don't want to destroy this part, you just want to crop this off. This is non-destructive. But if you're sure this is what you want, then what you'll do is you'll go down to, well, you'll right click on Man 1 and then rasterize, and well, I guess I should apply it first. Okay, so I'll apply my crop, but it really isn't gone. You just believe it is. So I'm going to now right click on Man number 1 and then go to here to rasterize and trim, and it will rasterize the whole thing and trim it off, and now all you have is the man. You don't have him plus all the cropped area that we don't see. Now after that, I need to right click and then copy, and then I'm going to go back over to this untitled thing and then right click again and paste, and it's going to paste it on there. So now all we have to do is to resize it like that. Okay, so I have him to where he looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do the same thing to Man number 2. I'm going to go over here. I am going to get the Object Selection tool, and I'm going to hover over the middle guy until he gets selected. Okay, so now I can just do that, and this time it selects all of him, so all I'm going to do is click, and that will give us the green part. So now we have him selected, and we go up here to Refine, so we can refine him to see if we have any stuff that we need to clear up, and we don't, so we're going to Output to Mask and apply. Now we have to crop all this off. So I'm going to go to the crop tool like that and then crop this off like that. And then to crop it, we have to punch apply. And now we have our crop selection. It's still non-destructive. The rest of this stuff is still out there, but we don't want to have the other part that we just cropped off to still be out there. We want this to be permanent. So I'm going to right click and then I'm going to rasterize and trim. Then once I do that, then I can do a right click and copy, and then go over to my document and then right click again and paste. And now we have guy number 3 and we need to resize him. Okay, I'm just going to stick him there. We can line him up the next time. And now I'm going to do the same thing to man number 3. Okay, let's see. Oh, we still have the backpack problem. So I will click on that so that it selects the object, and now I'm going to have to use my selection brush tool to select the backpack. So now we have it all selected, and now that we have it all selected, we just have to click refine and then output it to the mask, apply, and now we can crop this off, click apply for our crop, and then we can right click it and go rasterize and trim. Now I want you to see something. Look over here before we go. I should have pointed this out in the first two. When we just crop this off, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have the man and you're going to have the mask, but notice that you still have this area out here. That part is the cropped part. You can't see it out here, but you can see it here. So what that's going to mean, if I were to leave it like this and I would just right click it and put it over on my document, I would still have this external stuff left. So you need to, that's why we need to right click it, and now watch what happens when I do rasterize and trim. Here I'm selecting rasterize and trim, and I'm going to click it, and now it's all one thing. So it's completely gotten rid of that cropped area. Okay, so now we can copy this, go over here and right click and then paste and drag him over and resize him to be something reasonable. Now I have my snapping on right here. I kept my snapping on because I want to be able to line these guys up. So I'm going to click this dude and then match him up. See how he's matched up down there when I move him? And then I'm going to make him bigger. Well, I think he's already the same size. So you can see how he's matched up. And I'm going to then move him over a little bit and then do that with this guy. So we're going to have to move him down until his feet right there match the other two guys' feet, and then make him bigger until they match up, and now they're going to be pretty much the same size. If you're really picky about the size, you can just select one of them and then look at the width and the height of the guy and then do the same with the other two. I'm not that picky. I just chose to use my snapping right here to line them up. So now we have them lined up. Okay, now I want to select my rectangle. It's selected accidentally, and I'm going to put a gradient over it. So I'm going to select gradient and do that. I actually want elliptical gradient, but I'll pull this over first. And then I will say, no, I don't want you, I want elliptical. So now we want elliptical gradient. Let me just go back. Z, 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 Z. Okay. I should have chosen it at first. So I want an elliptical gradient, and so the center is right here with the gradient going on both sides. Okay. I don't want it to be gray. That's too dull and boring. So I'm going to go up here and select the rectangle, and this right here is already selected, so I'm going to change the color on this thing. So I think I'm going to pick, it doesn't really matter, I'll pick this blue, and then I will go over here and then click this pink. Let's see what we get. I don't want anything that's too normal. I think I'm going to stick with this. I want some bright colors on this, and you're going to see why I want that in a minute. So now I have my gradient, and that's all I want. I just want this to be that bluish color. I pick a different color every time I do this. So just experiment around and see what you like, but I'm going to stick with this, and I'm going to decide that that's going to be my gradient. Now what I need to do is to click on my first man, and then I'm going to go down here and click on the effects thing. Now I'm going to make a silhouette out of these three guys. If you go and you do the silhouette, you're going to use color overlay. Remember, if you remember from the last video, so I'm going to select color overlay, and it always defaults to black. But I don't want it to be black. I want it to be some other color. It's sort of irrelevant. If I hate it at the end, I can always change it. So I think I'm going to pick that color. So I'll pick that color, and then I also want an outer shadow. So I'm going to select outer shadow, and I'm going to turn my radius up to maybe 27-ish, something like that, and my offset to be around the same thing. Okay, so now I have a red silhouette with a shadow, with our shadow there. And I'm going to now experiment with this a little bit. Now that we have our shadow, I'm going to select color overlay, and I'm going to research the blend modes a little bit. So I'm not going to keep him orange. I am going to blend that in, and we're going to go with different blending modes. And I'm going to scroll down here so you can see how they change. And then you can just pick the one that you like. So here I have lighter color, overlay, soft light, hard light, vivid light, and you can go all the way down to the bottom. That's kind of interesting. I don't like it, but it's kind of interesting. Reflect, negation, average, luminosity, and go down here and just pick one. You can always change it at the end. So I think I'm going to pick a different one than I did before. I'm going to try this reflect thing, and then do that, and then close. So now I have a silhouette with a blending mode attached and a shadow. Now I'm going to select this guy and take this FX and move it to where I'm going to copy it on him. But I'm not going to keep it like that. I'm going to open the FX box, and then I'm going to pick a different color. I'll pick, what do I want? Green. And so that's what your green looks like. And now you want to kind of see what kind of, now it's on reflect because it was on reflect with the other one. But let's do something different so we can compare. Okay, right up here we have darken, multiply, color burn, linear burn. I think I'm going to do color burn. So I'm going to click color burn and then close him. And then I'm going to do the same with man number 3. I'm going to take this FX and copy it down like that, and then I'm going to open up the FX on the third guy, get this out of the way, and pick another color. Let me see. What does this look like? Okay, that looks terrible with a color burn. Okay, let's go back up to normal. That's normal, darken, multiply, color burn. That's linear burn, darker color, lighten, screen, color dodge. Color dodge looks kind of interesting. Add, lighter color, overlay. I'll do overlay this time. So I'm going to click the overlay and then close it. And now you have your triptych. You have these 3 guys are the same ones, but they're just in different positions. And then we just added a color to each one. If you just want them to be a silhouette and just do the regular color, all you have to do is, let's just select this guy. All you have to do is to go back to Effects, and then instead of Reflect, just get rid of it. And now, if you just want 3 colors, you can do that. So I could do it that way. Then I can close that, and then I can just do the same one on the next guy, color burn. Just go up to normal, and there we are, and close that, and then select guy number 3, and then open up the FX, move that out of the way, and then go back up to normal. So now we have just 3 guys that are in silhouette but in different colors. So you can experiment around with all this. I mean, you can make some interesting artwork with this. This is if you don't have any blending modes at all. So here's a few more ways that you can make silhouettes without them being black ones. Try some of these ideas, and remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to give the YouTube algorithm a boost and help support my channel.